You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. I am Daniel.
I'm Clint. Welcome back to another episode of Locked On Bulldogs here on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Daniel and I are just two fans. I mean, if we're being totally honest, our resume is not long nor distinguished, and it pretty much stops and ends with that. We're fans. Hey, here's the good news. You're a fan too. Mm-hmm. We have no gurus or insiders whatsoever. This just in, because there's no such thing as a guru or an insider. They've conned you all. And kudos to them. To be completely honest, kudos to them. I well done. The one exception is Brooks Austin, because he is a film guy, not a guru or an insider, and I love watching him break down film. But Daniel and I are fans first and foremost. You're a fan. We talk like fans do on this podcast, so we're glad you're here, whether you are on YouTube or the audio version. Every day we're breaking down the dogs like you would at a tailgate or at your home with your wife, because you don't allow anybody else into the home with you or your significant other. Whoever's in the home when the football game starts, that's it. You keep the masses out. At least you should. So we're glad you're here 5 days a week.
Yeah. Which I don't know what happened. I blacked out, and you were talking about letting people into your home, and I don't know. I lost you there for a minute, but then you came back around, and everything. It's like one of those weird dreams where things feel kind of normal, but then you realize there's nothing normal.
This podcast, if there are people undergrad, if you're looking to be a therapist at UGA and you're on this podcast,
I'm not the one that's out here just stream of consciousness talking about people that my significant other and I let into our homes. All right.
That is That is a totally natural. We've talked about that before in the pod.
Thank you for listening or watching the show, however it is that you found us. We are on the YouTube. If you've not seen us on there, go over to the YouTube channel, Locked On Bulldogs, and subscribe. Maybe leave us a comment, thumbs up, or something on the videos. That helps us out a bunch. Thanks for the subscriptions and all of you that have already subscribed. Trying to grow that channel, and you guys can help us out by doing that. Most of you are over on the audio side of the show, Stitcher or Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever podcasts can be found. We're there. Appreciate a subscription there too. As Clint said, we are 5 days a week talking about this Georgia team that we love so much. And you can, if you like the show, leave us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts too. That helps out as well. There's a bunch of ways to get connected. Mostly we would love to hear from you though. Hit us up on Twitter, send us a message. Slide into the DMs, whatever it is, at Dogs Podcast. Give us a follow on there, and we'd love to interact with you and chat with you. Or you can send us an email, lockedonbulldogs@gmail.com. Shout out to all of you that have sent us those emails. Jeff, Mark, of course, Gurf, Adam. I'm missing some that have sent us emails this week, but appreciate all the emails. Love all your thoughts. And even if you're bragging about how you were right about something, that's a great reason to send us an email. That's basically all this show is.
I was just going to say, it is because
you got right to us to brag about things that we got right. Speaking of things that we got right, Clint, it's locks today. Did you see how I did that? You see how
you see how he parlayed that?
Parlay, pun intended. For the season, we are 24-19 on the locks, yes, Clint. We call that turning a profit. Is what we call that. 7-7 last week. Caught a bad break or two in there. Made a bad bet or two in there. Alabama -14, not a good bet. Kansas plus anything, never a good bet. Learned a lesson.
We learned some things about actual college football teams, and we learned some things about betting this week.
Yes, but we both bet Boise State, and that was a great bet. Just ended up on the wrong side of it. Just got some bad luck at the end of the game. There was a fumble, scoop and score for a touchdown that put us in cover town. and the refs overturned it for no apparent reason. So on the right side of that game, but still went 7-7. The UGA South Carolina under T's and P's to that did not cash. But all them Penn State bets, Clint, those did look good.
I had a parlay that was mighty tasty. Thank you, Penn State.
All right, so we're going to get into today's bets, Clint, and as we give out these locks, if you're new to this show, what we do on Thursdays is we break down the Georgia game by telling you our predictions for the game, what we think is going to happen, including a final score prediction, and then most importantly, we tell you if we have any locks as it relates to the spread and the total on the game, Clint. And so I'm going to let you go first. Talk to us about this Georgia game and talk to us about the locks that you have here as we approach Vandy.
Well, it's very simple, Daniel. Whatever you think is going to be not within reach, if you don't think that there's a single game statistic for yards allowed or sacks or tackles for losses,
Okay.
if you don't think there's a possibility that all of them going to be shattered in this game, y'all haven't woken up yet. You haven't had your cup of coffee. You don't know what's happening because there's a chance. Whatever, I'm not saying it's going to definitely happen. What I'm just saying is I'm not going to be surprised if by the fourth quarter we have 6 TFLs and 7 sacks, and there are 0 points up on the board still for Vanderbilt, and they haven't even crossed the 40 at midfield. Like, you tell me that's going to happen, I'm not going to be shocked at all by that, Daniel.
We ended yesterday's show saying Vanderbilt's not going to score many points in this game. There's a legitimate chance Vanderbilt scores 0 points in this game. Now, they might get some points.
I don't think we understand how hard that is in a college football game to hold an opponent scoreless. I don't think we understand how difficult that is.
I mean, you get a turnover, you get a short field. Drives often start in field goal range right there. You get a couple first downs, you get a busted play, you get a missed tackle, you get any one thing, kickoff return, punt return, any of these things. Now, see, therein lies the rub, though, Clint, because one of those things that I listed was punt return. Vanderbilt's not going to have a punt return in this game.
No, sir.
Jake Kamara is going to get the day off, Clint, because let me tell you this. You were talking about the defensive side of the ball. How did Kirby open his press conference? I intentionally didn't say this. How did Kirby open his press conference on Monday?
I think it was talking about one side of the ball, Daniel, and in particular, how we have done some things on offense.
Well, he did talk a lot about the offense. But before that, the opening statement of the press conference, Clint, was excited about Vanderbilt, and then the next words out of his mouth, we didn't get to play them last year on senior night. Does Kirby? Do you think
Kirby never says something like that?
We all remember. And he said it very cordially, just like as if it was just a thing that happened. We didn't get to play them, as if like that reality just dropped down out of the sky. But you know, and I know, and Kirby knows that that's not what happened.
He knows. There's an analogy I've used on this podcast before. Daniel and I use it in a lot of our lives. The guy at the bar that is hooping and hollering about how big and bad he is, don't fear him at all. Dan Mullins of the world,
guy that's throwing his sweat towel down at your feet,
don't worry
about him. You don't need to be worried about that guy.
Don't worry about that guy. He gonna fold like a wet napkin. The guy who's
like Cade Mays' dad's chair.
Hate to see it. The guy who just calmly and silently, just quick little jab and then moves on. Yeah, we're excited to play him since we didn't play him last year. Hey, Chip Towers, question. What can I answer for you? Just cold-blooded.
Kirby ain't forgotten.
No.
We're going to run up the score in this game, Clint. We are going to score a lot of points in this game.
Lots and lots. So,
Stetson Bennett will have a touchdown pass in this game. Carson
100%.
Beck may have a touchdown pass in this game. All 4 quarterbacks may score a touchdown in this game, Clint.
Oh, no. Oh,
Okay.
no.
I digress. The line for this game, there's a lot of different, the over-under. First of all, the line is 34.5. You can get it as low as 34.5. If you find it at 34.5, let me give you this piece of advice from me to you. Bet it. We never bet lines over 31.
Nope.
It's a policy we have here on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. Take your policy and throw it out the window. Well, if your window's up, then
I'm on a brownstone. I have the window. We're in the basement, so the window's up. I gotta go.
It's an elevated window. That just take your policy and right out the window. Because Georgia minus 34.5 is a lock for me in this game. Lock it up. And I'm also taking the over 51. Okay, 51 right now is the best number you can get out there.
Yep.
Shop around, try to find it, because Georgia's going to have to score all these points. Do not count on Vanderbilt to bring anything to the party. But Clint, act like a 50 burger is not in Vanderbilt's future.
No, Kirby
Stanford came out here and scored 41 last week. Stanford in Nashville scored 41 last week. Act like 50 is not in our near future. Give me the over 51 and give me the Georgia minus 34.5. And you can lock both of those up for me.
Okay. I'm going to go the over. Lock that up for me right now. Lock the over up. The spread, 31 and a half. I don't bet anything beyond that. Typically, I'll probably I will, in fact, before kickoff bet it, but I'm not going out as a lock. That's just too many points for me. So those are our first 2 locks. Daniel and I in agreement on the over 51, UGA minus 34.5. Hey, we're going to come back and talk more locks for this week. I have 6 more locks, Daniel. How many locks do you have?
I think I have 6 more as well. So
fantastic.
Nice even 3 per segment.
This is fantastic. First, I want to let you know about Rock Auto. Rock Auto is your car part destination. They are the experts in everything that you have: foreign, domestic, interior, exterior, appearance, transmission, engine, mechanical, whatever you need. Rock Auto has every car part at reliably low prices. Head over to rockauto.com right now. Let them know we sent you by How Did You Hear About a section. Put in Locked On. It helps us out, helps you out. You're going to get the right part to your door without having to go talk to the actual Jorge, not the Jorge Pickens that we know, but an actual Jorge. And that's a nickname that he was given, and nobody knows where from. Nobody knows.
Beware the guy that was given a nickname that nobody knows where it came from.
Don't do that.
Beware that guy. No mustache on that guy whatsoever.
No mustache. The full mustache of auto dealers or auto parts is rockauto.com. Head over there right now. rockauto.com. All right. Daniel, you have the floor. Where do you want to start? Where are you going to take us?
I always like to start with my favorite. Well, I don't have a Thursday or Friday play. Do you have a Thursday or Friday play?
I don't. I tried because I like those early week ones, but no, I couldn't do it.
It always feels good. By the time we get to tonight or tomorrow, I promise you I'll be betting on one of these games, but I don't have one right now that I feel great about. So I'm going to go to the play that I feel the best about for the weekend. And my goodness, what is it?
There's a lot of them, Daniel. There's one in particular.
There's one in particular that I'm going to go to. I don't know if it's the one you're going to go to. It's a team that's on the road, and you don't like to take road favorites, Clint. It's not the way that you're going to make your money to take road favorites. Business. And I know one of these teams is coming off a drubbing at the hands of yours truly. South Carolina Gamecocks coming back home to take on Kentucky. Now, Kentucky last week, Clint, really made a mess in the bed. Almost went ahead and lost to some sort of an FCS team, something I don't even know what the team is called. Can't even remember the name of it. Who is it? Norfolk State?
No,
it was the Citadel-esque, but it was not the Citadel.
I know.
Kentucky looked really bad. I have no idea what happened in that Kentucky game, but here's what I know. Kentucky's a better football team than that. And they are only a 5.5-point favorite on the road at South Carolina. Obviously, Doty is the quarterback now at South Carolina. Moving forward, I do think he's a better option. They've got this receiver that can do some things, but I still don't trust the running game, and I don't trust their ability to stop the deep passing game of Kentucky, just like they couldn't stop the deep passing game of Georgia. And so give me Kentucky minus 5.5 for my first lock of the week.
Chattanooga, by the way, Daniel. Chattanooga.
It was Chattanooga, just a few hours down the road from me.
Real close. Look, I'm gonna slowly work up to some ones that I feel just absolutely lock upon lock. I'm gonna save those ones down the road. But a lock is this. Arkansas, a good football team, Daniel.
Okay.
Arkansas, a good football team.
So I've heard.
I've watched.
Yep.
They're good.
Texas is back. Back to losing.
Back to doing what you've always done. They're at home against Texas A&M. Texas A&M, solid team, but they're not exceptional. They're not great.
I mean, do you remember that time that they needed a miracle to beat Colorado?
There it is.
Colorado.
Yep. Now, Arkansas, here's something that I knew coming into this year. Arkansas was going to keep games close. What I didn't know is that they were going to blow some people out along the way as well. I thought they were going to be competitive every game. I thought they were going to lose much more than they are going to lose this year. Their season win total, I think, is well on the way to covering that 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Arkansas is getting 5.5 at home against A&M. I don't know if they're going to win outright. They win outright. We got a whole different ball game on our hands right now. We got a whole different team. We got a
whole different ball game on our hands next week. When they come, different ball game. Yeah.
But Arkansas plus 5.5. It's too many points at home. Give me Arkansas. I'm going to stay.
What if I told you I could get you Arkansas plus 6 because that line is out there right now? And what if I told you I was going to lock it up with you? So let's
go.
Let's do it together. And let's take Arkansas plus 6. They are keeping this close against Texas A&M. Texas A&M doesn't even want to blow people out. That's what Jimbo wants to do. He wants to keep it close. So this plays right into Arkansas's hands.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna take you to another 5.5. If you got it at 6th grade, another 5.5. This line has gone to 6.5. I think at some spots I got it at 5.5. But Notre Dame is not good. Again.
Well, they've been bad all year. They continue to be bad.
I know we can look at a quarterback putting his finger back into place and then going out there and throw, like, yay, good for you. But whatever that means, like, fun. Wisconsin is a good football team. They're solid. They can tackle. Yep. They play defense.
Yep.
My gosh, they play defense. Wisconsin only favored 5.5, maybe 6.5 where you can get it. But I think they come out here. It's at is it at Notre Dame? Yeah, it's at Notre Dame. I think, right?
I think it's at Wisconsin.
Is it at, even better. It's at Wisconsin. Great.
Yeah.
They're going to win, I think, by maybe 10-9, 10, something like that, when all is said and done. Lock up Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'm coming on board with that one too, Clint. Let's just do this. Together on a few of these picks. I think Wisconsin's a better team. If I can get Wisconsin minus 5.5, which you still can find out there, you still can find a Wisconsin minus 5.5 out there. So go out, look for it. Wisconsin took that early season loss to Penn State, which Penn State turns out maybe a little better than some people thought they were going to be, including me. But Wisconsin took an L early in the season, but I do think they're still a contender in the Big Ten, and I think they're going to get things figured out. So give me Wisconsin minus 5.5. All right, Clint, let's come back after the break. We got more locks for the people, more money to give away here on the podcast.
That's right. We'll let you know about SweatBlock. SweatBlock is doctor created, doctor recommended, works for up to 7 days, dry shirt guarantee. If SweatBlock doesn't keep you dry, you get your money back. It's featured and tested on Rachel Ray's show by firefighters. It's bestseller on Amazon the last decade, over 13,000 reviews, currently number 1 in Amazon's anti-perspirant category, and it's manufactured right here in the USA. Wear what you want to wear. Your little secret of confidence. This is a must-have for everyone's toiletry bag. Right now, go get 20% off your entire order at SweatBlock.com with promo code LOCKEDON. That's 20% off your entire order at SweatBlock.com or at Amazon and CVS.
Also want to tell you about BetOnline.ag, your online sportsbook experts, the place that Clint and I go to place all of these wagers. And so if you're hearing something and it sounds good to you and you want to jump on board and you want to win some money, again, 24-19 on the season so far. If you want to win some money with us, then go to BetOnline.ag, sign up for a new account, make a deposit, enter the promo code Locked On. And what they're going to do is they're going to take your deposit and they're going to double it. And so whatever you put in, they are going to double it, which means you have double the money to bet on these locks, which is good because Clint and I have doubled up so far on 3 of our locks. Mm-hmm. And so you will need double the money with which to bet them. Just to be clear, if you want to make the money that Clint and I make, then when we double up on a lock, you have to bet twice the amount. That's how the game works. Some people, I think, maybe have been thrown off by this. This is significant to some, this information. But when we bet it, each of us, you have to bet double the amount. Go to betonline.ag to do that. Enter the promo code Locked On at betonline.ag, your online sportsbook experts.
All right, so we've given out Wisconsin, Arkansas. You've given out a couple on the UGA game, as well as Daniel. I'm still kind of shocked that that Kentucky pick. I'm not mad about it.
You're shocked that I made it, or you're shocked
I'm shocked that it's only 5.5. Daniel, that's what I'm shocked by.
It. Yeah, I hope you're not shocked that I made it. It's a stinky line. Normally, when you see a line this stinky, and I think this is Clint's logic, you got to stay away from it because Kentucky's more than 5.5 points better than South Carolina.
They're a good team.
But that game last week, they really looked bad. And so I'm counting on that being the reason the line is so low.
Perception.
Yeah, because normally if you can't figure out a reason why it's so low, then you should stay away from it. I think I might know the reason, and so that's why I bet it. All right, where are you going next, Clint? I got 3 more.
I got 3 more as well. And let me tell you this right now. Mel Tucker, I believe in you. What Army was for me last year and what Cincy was for me last year, Mel Tucker at Michigan State, he might be the best team in the state of Michigan, Daniel.
Michigan, I know Michigan's it's not a popular opinion on this podcast, but Michigan has looked very good this year.
No, I think they are. I'm going to go ahead and say whatever the Ohio State-Michigan line is, Ohio State favored. Count me. The lock's coming up for that. I'm taking Michigan in that game, just so we're all fully aware. Michigan State's a good team. They are giving 4 to Nebraska. Nebraska, now they showed out against Oklahoma. But let me remind you of a few things. Oklahoma, not a good football team. Okay?
Really figuring things out right now. Really struggling.
A lot of soul-searching understanding over there at Norman, and it's not great. Okay?
Not great.
Maybe all y'all beckoning for Spencer Rattler to come on to the SEC. Maybe he's crowning him the Heisman candidate. That Heisman list that had Jordan Davis as 4, you know whose name was omitted from that list? Spencer Rattler.
Must have just overlooked it. Must just DJ Uiagalelei. Did I see that name on there?
No, sir. Nebraska's not a good team. Michigan State is only favored by 4. Give me the fighting Mel Tuckers.
Sparty -4. Clint, that's 3 in a row.
Here we go.
That is 3 in a row that we are walking to the window at the same time. Our hands reaching into the popcorn bucket at the same time. Clint's getting awkward. It's getting awkward. I keep seeing you up at the window. Okay. Listen, there's not enough points. It's just not enough points at home against Nebraska. 4 points for a team that's looked really good this year. Michigan State. This Michigan State running back, Clint, is really good. Okay, I can't remember Cat's name. He's very good at football. He's going to rush for 200 yards in this game. He's going to run. Do you remember what the Illinois rushing attack did to Nebraska, Clint?
Oh, I
do. You remember week 0? Oh, I remember. Okay.
Kenny Walker.
We're locking out Kenny Walker. We're locking that one up together, which means I've got 2 more, and I bet we don't agree on these.
I bet so.
Hopefully we don't fight. We haven't had a single fight this year, but I'm taking Boston College +2. Now, Boston College is playing Missouri. They are hosting Missouri.
Okay.
Which home field advantage, I factor in 2.5 points at least for home field advantage.
Yep.
I know Boston College, sleepy atmosphere. It's an afternoon game, but it's not Georgia Tech. It's not, it's not Duke. It's not a Duke home game. So it's maybe a 2.5 points. But that means this is an even money game between Boston College and Missouri. And I just think Boston College is better. I think Boston College is a better football team than Missouri. But wait, they're not favored by 2 at home. They're an underdog by 2 at home, which means all I need them to be is like a touchdown worse than Missouri, and they still could cover this. Give me I don't hate a play on the money line here because obviously it's a low spread, but for the purpose of the locks, give me Boston College +2. I like it a lot. I think they're a more fundamental team. I think Eli Drinkovitz does not have the team that he had last year. I think they're still figuring some things out. They played well against Kentucky.
Yep.
Jury's still out a little bit maybe on Kentucky after last week's performance. We'll see. I know I'm banking on them bouncing back this week, but I still am going to go against Missouri this week and take Boston College +2 at home.
That's one of those. That's one of the logs that I have that I'll be looking come Saturday morning after I finish breakfast. I'm looking through. That's the game I'm going to see where the line moved. I think it has a chance to go in Missouri's favor a little bit more, so I might be able to get more points on BC. We'll see. I'm going to take you. Pac-12 is garbage. Okay,
sure is.
It's garbage. Oregon,
say more.
Everything else. This is all you need to know about the Pac-12. Utah, Josh Willingham over there. Garbage. They had one good run because they got some kids out of Florida to come over there and transfer and play. Utah's not a good team. They're getting beat up and just thumped by everybody.
Lost the Holy War. Let BYU come in there and just make a mockery out of them.
I mean, have you ever seen so many sober people in your life in one stadium?
Can't relate.
Can't relate. Oh, that's that Coke. That's that Coke. Washington State is playing Utah, and I see no evil. I hear no evil. They're getting 14.5 points against Utah. Utah just lost their starting quarterback. Starting quarterback is gone from the program. He walked out. They have a backup now. They're Washington State's getting 14.5.
Goodbye. Said
no. I can't do this anymore. The Holy War broke me. The Crusades. I can't do it. Father, Mother, let me write to you from the battlefield. It's not going well. So if you're going to tell me I get double-digit underdog in a crap division, yep, give me that.
Washington State +14.5. You had me till I had to bet on Washington State, Clint.
I know. It's so ugly.
Then you lost. So we'll go to another Pac-12 game, though. And this one, this is another one where, like, do I like the team I'm betting on? No, I do not. Is it akin to betting on Washington State? Absolutely. Yes, it is. But listen, sometimes a team is favored by way too many points on the road.
Principles.
And you just have to stand on your principles. And listen, when I see that the University of Washington, who is a terrible football team, Clint, is favored not by 3 points against Cal, not by 5 points against Cal.
I'm sorry.
Not by 7 points against Cal, but Washington is favored by 7.5 points against Cal. Give me
Chris
Cal
Peterson.
plus 7.5. Give me
Chris Peterson ain't coaching on the sidelines no more. Okay.
Give me this Washington football team is offensively one of the worst teams in football. Defensively, quite stout.
Yeah.
Pretty good team defensively. But offensively, This is a terrible football, which means this has the opportunity to be a very low-scoring game, which means you're going to give me more than a touchdown underdog in a low-scoring game when I might have the better team.
Ooh, now you're talking.
Yeah. I'll take Cal plus 7.5. Thank you very much. So
this
week of
next
underdogs for me.
A lot of underdogs. I got Michigan State that's a favorite and a couple others, but I'm going to go to another underdog myself, and I'm going to tell you this right now. We may have broken the soul of Dabo. We may have just taken the rock.
Something ain't right.
Something is not right in Clemson.
No.
Okay.
It's
Ua Ungale may never recover again.
They'll do a 30 for 30 about him. They will do a 30 for 30 about him, and the pre this game and post this game. It will be, what if I told you?
What if I told you? That
he was never rattled under pressure. That's
and
what we heard.
And then Jordan Davis came to town.
And then pressure.
NC State, a good football team defensively. Clemson, not a good offensive team. They keep on losing players as well. There's another player, that defensive lineman, I think, is done for the year. At Clemson, just got injured this last week. But NC State's getting 10 points. Okay, so let me
10 points.
They're getting double digits against Clemson. Now, this is an ACC. I get it. ACC opponents suck. But if you're talking in conference with a team that's broken, who doesn't have solutions on offense, who doesn't have weapons, and they're losing playmakers, NC State doesn't have a ton. But NC State plays Clemson close every single year. I don't know if you understand that. Every single year. So give me NC State plus 10.
NC State's a good team.
I think so.
They're just an undervalued team, and Clemson is going on name recognition. Like, that's it. That's the only thing Clemson has to go on. I'm tapped out, Clint. You got any more?
That's it. That was my final one.
All right. Well, we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to give you all the things we are excited about, nervous about, and things you shouldn't sleep on for this game against Vanderbilt coming up this weekend. Enjoy the preparations for this Saturday. If you're coming to Nashville, shout out at your boy. Say hello. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. TBD. All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
See ya.